hit like, and subscribe. You're watching the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel.
Peace, family. It's your brother, Marc Lamont Hill. Welcome to Night School. Every night here on the Marc Lamont Hill official YouTube channel, we hold Night School, where I break down the most controversial subjects, the most intense debates, the most protracted conversations going on in the world today. And tonight is no different. We got a couple big stories I want to talk to y'all about. Very much looking forward to it because, yes, the world is a dumpster fire. Yes, all kinds of awful things are happening, but people are waking up, yo. People are thinking again. People are talking again. People are fighting again. As much as I hate the Trump presidency, at least there are people out here who know that there's a problem and that there's a clear target. So often when Biden or Obama or whoever is president, it's like people go to sleep. They think everything is okay. They don't realize they're being ruled by a different right-wing party. But now, folks is paying attention, and Trump is giving us no shortage of ammunition, no shortage of targets for us to focus on. So I'm glad. I'm not glad that Trump is president, but I'm glad that people are waking up. I'm glad that people are paying attention. I feel proud to be part of this conversation. I feel proud to be part of this movement. So shout out to everybody that's out here as a lover of knowledge, as a seeker of justice, and who comes to night school as a source of information. By the way, a bunch of y'all were asking me to bring on Alika Lebon, I believe is her name. Alika Lebon. She is one of them. That's what I'm gonna say. She one of them. And I don't mean that as a compliment the way they mean it sometimes. Alika Lebon is a Iranian woman. She calls herself a daughter of Iran who's under attack. She's somebody who criticizes anything brown, anything Muslim. She's an unwavering supporter of Israel, which she frames as being an unwavering supporter of the Jewish people. Anyway, y'all asked me to book her and have a conversation with her, to have a debate with her. And I said, fine, it ain't my cup of tea, it ain't my bag, but you know what? I appreciate and love y'all so much. I said I would do it. Well, she declined. She has every right to do so. She declined. She don't want to smoke. I don't know what her exact reason was, but I translated it as she don't want to smoke. So don't say your boy didn't try to get Alika Lebon on the show. I don't know her deal. I don't know why, but I know she ain't want to show up. That said, we got a lot to cover today, yo. We got a nice school. Your boy's tired. I'm not sleepy tonight, though. I know I just yawned, but I'm actually not sleepy. I'm writing. I'm working. I'm awake. I'm doing my thing out here, man. Working my behind off, trying to make some things happen. Anyway, I got some stories we're gonna cover. Blood the Bunny says she is French now too, as all adversaries of Mark are fair. Lorna Lowe says she's watching from the UK. It's 4 a.m. I appreciate that. E-King Farmer said Black farmers need support. Our people need food when the shit hits the fan. I agree. I've been supporting Black farmers for a long time. We've had Black farmers on the show. We've had Black farmers on office hours as well. And we consistently advocate for Black farmers. If there's a way I can help you, E-King, let me know. If there's somebody you can bring on the show to talk about it some more, let me know. If there's a story that needs to be covered that I'm not covering, please let me know. In the meantime, y'all check out our conversations on Black farmers in office hours and on Night School and on the Grill. I got a ton of stories with Black farmers, both historical stuff and current stuff that I want y'all to check out. But again, we got work to do. The Black Growers Association, there's a big conference that comes around in Brooklyn in the spring. I don't remember exactly when, but I'm going to say May, June. We support them. We promote them. Whatever I can do to help, let me know. Let me know, because we're going to need food. Food is at the core. And it's not just food. It's about subsistence. It's about economic self-determination. And there's a long history in this country trying to stop it. So I support Black farmers. Let's get to it. Let me know what I can do. Mark Andrew Terry watching from Oslo. Lots of stuff happens in Oslo, but not at 5:20 a.m. Thank you for the love, brother. Thank you for watching the show. We'll talk about them Oslo Accords one day. We'll talk about them Peace Prizes another day, but just know I appreciate you. Brianna Hill, I got a niece named Brianna Hill as well. Hey to you too, Brianna Hill. Thank you for watching for the first time live. I appreciate it. Hasna, I apologize for the delay, but y'all know what it is. Again, this Black History Month is coming to an end. We got a lot going on. Ryan Muhammad, assalamu alaikum, my brother. He said, Happy Savior's Day. Happy Savior's Day to you. I believe you're a member of the Nation of Islam, and I know how important Savior's Day is to you. So I wish you joy, peace, prosperity, luck, and growth as you celebrate this. I love y'all back camera with a better angle. Jamal, Ethiolu Clater. Oh, I see you're not talking to me. I dig it. I'm slow. Rosability asks how I'm doing. Thank you for asking, Rosability. I'm good. Overworked, underpaid. Today was a teaching day as well as a traveling day. And a writing day. So I'm trying to knock it all out tonight. I haven't even eaten or had anything. That's why I'm drinking this water to kind of get me going as we hit these stories, y'all. Don't be afraid to hit that super chat button, y'all. Don't be afraid to hit the super sticker or super thanks button. This has been, I ain't gonna hold you. This has been a very low month for the channel in terms of revenue, and that's okay. I've been on the road speaking. I earned that. I deserve that. But if there's a way the channel could be supported, I'm always going to ask. So, family, if there's a way for you all to watch the videos, share the videos, like the videos, subscribe to the channel, and join, please do it. You know, I'm always grateful to it. Hasna, I feel you. She said I was talking about people waking up, had nothing to do with you. Sorry. No, nothing to be sorry for. I was late too. So even if that was what you meant, that would be fine. C. Lynn, hola. Jamal's asking about these Epstein files. I don't know anything about the Epstein files. That's not one of them. I know that makes people go, aha. I just don't. I haven't studied it lately. But I want to get the latest, and let's come back next week with some real info for you, because I want to be able to answer your question. I just don't know enough to answer it right now. All right, I'm gonna start off in my adopted city of New York. That's where I work. That's where I be at a lot of times, right? Eric Adams is always an interesting topic, man. There are few people who embody the word clown more than Eric Adams, yo. And it's not personal, but the stuff he be doing, man, is wild. Anyway, let's get to the story. Eric Adams made some statements. He made them during Black History Month. And I'm like, man, Adams, you're better than this. And if you're not better than this, you should pretend to be better than this. He went to a celebration, Black History Month celebration, and he decided to not make it about Black history, but instead the mayor decided to call some people out. Is he calling out the people who tried to erase history? No. Is he trying to call out the people who are attacking racial discourse in the classroom? Honest discourse in the classroom? Civil discourse in the classroom? No. Eric Adams used Black History Month not as a time to call for more Black writers or more Black authors or more libraries or different curriculum or more public murals. He ain't called for none of that. Eric Adams used Black History Month and then a Black History Month event as an opportunity to grandstand, to talk about himself and to talk about people. You know what? Watch it for yourself. Watch it for yourself.
So this is a biblical moment. You know, when Jesus was on the cross, he said, God, forgive them, for they know not what they do. All these Negroes were asking me to step down. God, forgive them. Are you stupid? I'm running my race right now.
I'm running my race right now. So Eric Adams at Gracie Mansion decided that this was the time for him to talk that ish about himself. Now, let's start with the Jesus talk. I get all black politicians for the most part and black academics. We all be on that type time sometimes. We all get a little homiletical verve in us. You know what I'm saying? We all start preaching a little bit to get it in our voice. I ain't mad at that. But this dude actually invokes the Bible and scripture as a way of legitimizing a claim that he has been mistreated by the public and by black people. Right? You in the mansion, you're in front of all these people. They ain't all black people either. And you saying the Bible and Jesus, forgive them for they know not what they do. That's about Jesus was crucified according to the Christian narrative, right? They're saying that Jesus was crucified and that the people who did harm to him did not know, and that Jesus had a level of mercy and grace that allowed him to forgive his enemies because they didn't realize who he was. Eric Adams, who are you? Are you our hero? I'm not saying you think you're Jesus. I'm not gonna put that on you. That's a dishonest argument. But you are drawing a parallel here and saying that whoever you are to us, we should be happy about it, and that your political enemies don't realize, they don't have the foresight or the vision or the wisdom, so you've forgiven them in advance for harming you. Mr. Adams, you are not being persecuted. You are being pressed. You're being pressed. What's the difference? The difference is you did the shit. Now look, I don't doubt that Eric Adams has done things that every single politician does, or that most politicians do. And I don't doubt that Eric Adams is being, in some ways, targeted. But you, sir, were facing criminal corruption charges by the Department of Justice. And suddenly, before I knew it, you're not facing criminal corruption charges. You are free and in the clear. Why? Is it because they found something exculpatory? No. They proved you didn't do it? No. Eric Adams, you're no longer facing criminal corruption charges because, to use your language, you collaborated. You reached a deal with the government to do certain things. Now, we're not getting all the specifics of it because I don't know all the specifics of it. What we know for sure is that you basically sold out anybody who's an immigrant. You basically sold out the people who are going to be harmed by Trump's hardline immigration policy, people who are going to be criminalized and maybe even deported because of ICE. You collaborated. Now, collaboration has a whole other meaning overseas, particularly in the Middle East, but I want to say at the very least, you are working in the interests of our open enemies. You were the one who welcomed the asylum seekers. You were the one who understood the need to champion immigrant communities. And then slowly but surely, you've been pivoting. But now that Trump got you by the short and curlies, you're moving different. And people who are criticizing you for moving different, you are now acting like they're the problem, Mr. Adams. And you ain't being slick when you call them Negro. See, for non-black people out there, when a black person uses Negro in public like that, that is a euphemism for nigger. All these Negroes who are asking me to step down, he's trying to talk about niggas. That's what he's saying. And you're asking God to forgive them. Right. Anyway, I'm not going to belabor the point, but Adams was highlighting in that speech his administration's achievements. He said he's, quote, running his race like historical leaders before him: Nat Turner, Marcus Garvey, Barack Obama. Sir, Nat Turner? Nat Turner was leading rebellions. Nat Turner was literally engaged in a revolutionary act of resistance against his captors. Nat Turner was a freedom fighter. You, sir, are a cop, turned into a mayor, turned into a Trump lackey. You are the state. You are the power structure. You're not fighting it. Now, look, Mr. Adams, you're not the worst mayor we've ever seen. You've been dealt, in some ways, a tough hand as mayor, and black politicians get a much harder, much heavier lift. I'm not pretending that some of your concerns or grievances aren't legitimate, but you ain't Nat Turner. Marcus Garvey, maybe the greatest institutional organizational leader we've had in Black America ever. Ain't that many? It's Garvey, it's Elijah Muhammad. I mean, we could name a few. You're not a political visionary leading us to a new sense of freedom, a new conception of freedom. You're not the father of Pan-Africanism. Again, I'm not being literal Larry here. I'm not saying you have to do what Marcus Garvey did to have the comparison, but I'm saying you're not even in that tradition. Nat Turner was a revolutionary freedom fighter. Marcus Garvey was a visionary thinker, an organizer, a doer. The Black Star Line is a product of him. Black Zionism, the vision of him. We're talking about a different, not that Zionism, something else. You ain't that. And then you say Barack Obama. That's the closest one you are. Y'all both Democrats, y'all both Negroes, y'all both run stuff. But you, sir, are no Barack Obama. Barack Obama was thoughtful and principled within the context of mainstream political politics. In other words, mainstream electoral politics. In other words, Barack Obama wasn't a crook. Barack Obama wasn't just a bold-faced liar. I don't agree with Barack Obama for lots of stuff. I ain't vote for him. But when I tell you, Mr. Adams, Eric Adams, you ain't no Barack Obama. Anyway, he says, Mr. Adams, Mayor Adams, he says that his leadership is empowering the Black community. How? And that he's built more housing in 2 years than any mayor in New York City history. That might be true. I can't say. We will fact check that, because building stuff means something different if you're also destroying it. I need to know more about this before I can speak to Eric Adams, so speak on Eric Adams doing that. But Eric Adams spoke for himself. Eric Adams appeared on Good Day New York. It was called Good Day New York, yeah, and he denied that he is just asking Black people to support him because he's Black. And the reason why he said that is because people are saying to him, Mr. Adams, why are you pointing out Negroes who aren't voting for you? Why are you talking about the Negroes who didn't support you? It's almost as if you're saying Negroes owe you something and God needs to forgive them. Does God need to forgive white people who don't vote for you or who don't support you? It's an interesting question. Anyway, y'all Mayor Eric Adams said this.
Petition started yesterday. I want to get back to the event you had at the Gracie Mansion last night, where you spoke about Black History Month, and in it you said, quote, all these Negroes who are asking me to step down, God forgive them. Are you implying that if you're Black, you have to support you?
No, not at all. I'm asking for all New Yorkers to support me.
So who are you specifically talking to when you say Negroes?
Well, who has stepped down? Who has asked me to step down? If you look at that whole speech, the speech talked about the continuation of lighting your flame and continue to light and shine. And that's what we've done in this administration with our team. So those who...
Just want to point out, he didn't answer the question at all. If you're not talking about Negroes, who are you talking? You said Negroes. I meant everybody. Really? Everybody Negro? Everybody's a Negro? Nah, come on, B. And when he asked you about it, you started talking about lighting flames. The question was, who are you talking about? This is where good journalism comes in. This is where you got to press.
Who have called for me to allow my flame to prematurely be extinguished. That's who I'm talking about.
So you're saying all New Yorkers are Negroes?
I thought I was very clear in my definition of what I said. All New Yorkers, we got 8.3 million New Yorkers, 8.3 million people didn't call for me to step down. I get just the opposite when I'm in the streets.
Right. Everybody didn't ask you to step down. Some people did. You referred to those some people as Negroes. Are you denying that that's racial? That's, to me, and by the way, I'm not saying that this anchor's doing a bad job. He's doing a great job. He's asking the right questions.
So anybody who's black who calls for you to step down, they need help from God. I'm focusing on this because your use of the word Negro has come up repeatedly over the last couple of weeks. And I think some people actually have an issue with that term. So explain who you're talking to when you use that term specifically.
I didn't say they need help from God. I said, pray for them. Wasn't that what I said?
You said, quote, God forgive them.
Exactly. Let's pray for them. And so let's focus on this for.
Notice the sleight of hand there. He said, I said, pray for them. No. You said, God forgive them. And he said, yeah, pray for them. No, they're not the same thing. You can pray for somebody because they did well. You can pray for somebody because you care about them. You can pray for somebody because you love them. You can pray for somebody just because you want to pray for somebody. But when you say God forgive them, that means they've done something wrong. Come on, Eric Adams. We're not the dumb ones here.
For a moment. Isn't our democracy is based on who the people of the city elect? Why are we trying to disrupt and take the power away from the people of the city who elected me to be the mayor? And then ask the question, what have I done that we're going to usurp that power from the people? I have not been convicted of a crime. I've moved the city forward. I've done the job that New York has asked me to do. And so when you have those that are trying to usurp the power of the voting rights of the people, that is not democracy, and God forgive them.
Okay, when you take a look at it, then you look at the polls right now. The latest poll that came out yesterday had you among Democrats at 10% support. Andrew Cuomo is not even in the race at 38% right now. When you look at the polling numbers, you can't get matching funds. What is your path forward to get reelected as mayor in your eyes?
Well, go back and look at February of 2021. I was being behind Andrew Yang by double digits. People stated that he was going to be the next mayor. We're not calling the mayor Andrew Yang. We're calling the mayor Adams. This is going to be a long competitive race, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to showing how well we've done for the city and get our message out. That's what campaigning is like. No one that's running for mayor right now has ever won a mayor race but Eric Adams. I know how to win. I know how to get to New Yorkers, and that's what I'm going to do.
Woo! This Negro is something else. This Negro is something else. Cuomo's gonna mop the floor with Eric Adams. I'm telling you right now, he ain't gonna win nothing. Now, I need to be also clear that that's not a good thing. Andrew Cuomo is a more competent leader. He's a better politician. But there's nothing about Cuomo or Adams that I want anywhere near me in the mayoralty. So I'm not saying Cuomo's going to mop up Adams as a sign of celebration or joy. I'm just saying Eric Adams is bringing up this Yang thing. Let me tell you something. Yang and Cuomo is two very different political animals, two very different political machines. They ain't the same. They got the same name. They ain't the same. All right, y'all, let's move on to another story because this one has me furious. Y'all already know. Let's talk about this. New York just shut down a Palestinian Studies job before it even started. Governor Kathy Hochul ordered the City University of New York, CUNY, to immediately take down a Hunter College job posting. The posting was for a professorship. The specific area of focus, Palestine. She said that the listing was, quote, divisive and pushing for a review. And she said that she's pushing for a review to ensure, quote, anti-Semitic theories are not being taught. So let's walk through how this happens. Under normal circumstances, a college university hires professors. They typically leave that hiring to the department. The department has a search. They begin the search for the faculty member by posting in the fancy job places. Inside Higher Education, the Chronicle was the thing back in my day. Listservs, websites, including their own, whatever, right? They post that there's a job. People apply for the job. A group of finalists are chosen for the campus visit. They come out. They usually do presentations. They get interviewed. They pick somebody for the job, and the faculty vote. The department chair may choose. The dean may choose, depending on the school. But ultimately, within that college or within that school, inside of the university or the college itself, if it's a department inside of a college, the college dean or president or provost, excuse me, might choose. But whatever, there's a process. In none of these traditional processes does the governor of the state step in. That is absurd. Now, the City University of New York is a little bit different. It's a city university system. They don't just have a president and provost at the campus. They also have a chancellor of all of the schools, kind of like a school superintendent for K-12 schools, right? And then that person also, if I remember correctly, reports to the governor, right? I don't know if they report to the governor, but I think they may get hired by the governor. Either way, the governor's all the way up there, but the governor does not handle governance of a university. The governor, the chancellor doesn't handle governance of the university at CUNY, or City University of New York. The president of the school does. So Hunter College shouldn't be getting big timed by the governor or even the chancellor. But that's exactly what happened. Now, let me tell you what the job listing said, because y'all going to be like, what is this crazy job posting? What is this allegedly anti-Semitic job posting? Here's the job posting. This is for a Palestinian Studies professor at Hunter College, which again is a college inside the CUNY or City University of New York system. I'm a professor in the City University of New York system as well. Full disclosure, full transparency. I am a professor at the City University of New York Graduate Center. That said, the job said that Hunter College is looking for, quote, a historically grounded scholar who takes a critical lens to issues pertaining to Palestine. So let's start there, right? A historically grounded scholar, somebody whose work is rooted in history, not just contemporary, who takes a critical lens. When you see the word critical, family, the word critical just refers to power. Now, I don't mean just, but critical implies or suggests an examination of power dynamics, power relations, but where power is located. Sometimes it's in, radical kind of, or it could be a Marxist tradition, it could be a critical race tradition, it could be a feminist tradition, but critical refers to power. Anyway, a grounded scholar who takes a critical lens to issues pertaining to Palestine, including, but not limited to, settler colonialism, genocide, human rights, apartheid, migration, climate, and infrastructure devastation, health, race, gender, and sexuality. So they're basically saying, we're not looking for a single approach to studying Palestine. If you want to study settler colonialism, that's fine. If you want to study genocide, that's fine. If you want to study human rights, that's fine. Apartheid, migration, climate, health, gender, whatever, right? We're open. We just want an interest. I know what these searches mean. It means we're looking for somebody who studies Palestine and does interesting work. We're not locked in on a certain person. We're not like, we're looking for a historian who studies, land trading during the Ottoman era, looking at the Mushaf system or something like that. And sometimes when the job search is, just side note for those of you going into academia or who care, when the job is too narrow and too focused, it usually means they already know who they want, and they're writing the posting around the person who they already decided they're going to hire. The posting also said that Hunter College is open to, quote, a diverse theoretical and methodological, it says methodical, but they mean methodological, a diverse theoretical and methodological approach to their work. It was a cluster hire. They would hire 2 people. So this is a fairly standard job post. We're looking for interesting people who study Palestine across the board. Theoretically, we don't have a single theoretical orientation. Again, y'all are so worried about everybody fitting into the same box or everybody having cookie cutter thought. They're saying, look, we're methodologically and theoretically open, meaning you could be doing oral histories, you could be doing archival work, you could be doing ethnographic work. You know, I don't know what department this job is in. Let me see. Because it was taken down before I could find out, to be clear. It's not that I didn't do my job. Oh, yeah. Open rank. Oh, yeah. They took that bad boy down. That thing is scrubbed, but it says it's part of a Palestine Studies cluster hire. Hunter College is honored to announce its search for an open rank tenure line professor. That means also that this job was available across, that it might be a junior person, might be a senior person. It looks like they were just super interested in hiring a Palestine scholar. That's it. They want to hire a scholar of Palestine. Why is it wrong to want to hire a scholar of Palestine? Like, what's the harm there? What do you lose by hiring a scholar of Palestine? And why is it that being a scholar of Palestine suddenly makes you a bad person? Well, you read the language that I read. Historically grounded scholar, critical lens, and all the things, right? Well, the response came from a couple places. The governor, Kathy Hochul, says, according to her spokesperson, Governor Hochul has directed CUNY to immediately remove this job posting and conduct a thorough review of the position to ensure that anti-Semitic theories are not promoted in the classroom. Here's the wild thing. They don't even have candidates yet. They don't even have candidates yet. So they're not saying we're going to study this scholar or this individual person to see if they're anti-Semitic or if they have any evidence of anti-Semitism in their work or in their ideology such that they will get transferred into the classroom. I would say that's a reasonable question. Now, again, I think it's unreasonable to assume that only the Palestine scholar deserves scrutiny. If you're saying scrutinize every faculty member to make sure there's nothing racist or sexist or homophobic in their work, I mean, sure. I mean, I don't think that's crazy, but that's not what they're concerned with. They're assuming that because you studied Palestine, you must be a hater. You must be anti-Semitic. You must be doing something wrong. Because they're not talking about a person. They're saying the position itself. They're saying, we're going to make sure that the hiring of a Palestine scholar isn't an intention to smuggle anti-Semitism into our classrooms. What the heck are we talking about? Felix Matos Rodriguez, the CUNY chancellor, and the board of trustees, and William C. Thompson, chair of the board of trustees at CUNY, they issued a joint statement. They said, we find this language divisive, polarizing, and inappropriate, and strongly agree with Governor Hochul's direction to remove this posting, which we have ensured Hunter College has since done. So what language is divisive? Palestine Studies is divisive? Polarizing? First of all, who cares if it's polarizing, right? Women's studies to some people is polarizing if you don't believe in gender equality. You know, the CUNY Graduate Center just started a Department of Black, Race, and Ethnic Studies. For some, that's polarizing because some people believe we shouldn't be studying race. There's a whole Trump administration and followers of Trump who believe that we shouldn't be doing that, right? There's a queer studies department somewhere, and there are people saying that's polarizing and divisive. So what are we talking about here? You're not actually saying that we should get rid of everything that's polarizing and divisive. You're saying we should get rid of things that we don't agree with. So what don't you agree with here, right? What's inappropriate about saying we're looking for someone who studies Palestine? Should Palestine not be studied? We have Africana studies. We have European studies. We have Slavic studies. We have Russian studies. We have, you know, we could go across the board, right? We have women's studies. We have, why are we so opposed to Palestine studies? And so they've removed the posting. And of course, the faculty's fighting back as they should. And I stand in solidarity with the faculty. They're my colleagues. Some are my colleagues at CUNY, some are my colleagues just because some of my colleagues at the Graduate Center, some of my colleagues because they're at CUNY, and more broadly, they're my colleagues because we're all faculty. But this is where we are in academia. This is literally where we are in academia, where you can't even study Palestine. You can't even study Palestine without it being seen as an act of anti-Semitism. And here's the thing. There are places in schools and departments where anti-Semitism does exist. I'm not saying that anti-Semitism is a myth. It's not a myth. But you're looking inside of places, frankly, where you're going to see the least anti-Semitism. I mean, I'm not just saying that. Every time I walk into these Palestine studies and conversations, every time I go to CUNY and talk about Palestine before, they're championing racial justice and social justice more broadly. They're saying no anti-Semitism in language and deed and act, in ideology, in subtext. We got to stand up in solidarity with each other. This idea that the Palestine studies world is out here promoting anti-Semitism is in the academy, in the university. Come on, man, that's ridiculous. Again, I'm not saying there aren't anti-Semites out there. I'm just saying this ain't the hub. This ain't the place, but I don't think they think it is. People like Hochul don't know anything about Palestine studies. Think Chancellor Rodriguez is really studying the field of Palestine studies, the field that I know and engage myself and take seriously? Of course not. But this is all part of the game of making everything that's different, everything that we don't agree with, everything we don't understand, the boogeyman. We do it across race, class, gender, etc., and it's a problem. So this is a moment that demands resistance. And fortunately, at CUNY, the faculty is doing just that. The union spoke up, the PSC, I believe it's called, and they said that Governor Hochul's move is, quote, an overreach of authority and a direct attack on academic freedom, which it is. The right loves free speech. They love the First Amendment. They love to talk about their right to say and do and blah, 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 blah. But guess what? Guess what? Somehow, there's an exception for Palestine. That's why me and Mitchell Plitnick wrote that book, Except for Palestine, because I swear to God, whenever there is a rule or a principle, it's like, yeah, we believe in free speech except for Palestine. We believe in the right of return except for Palestine. We believe in keeping refugees except for Palestine and protecting them except for Palestine. We believe in self-defense except for Palestine. We believe in international law except for Palestine. Come on. Now, all of a sudden, all y'all people who wanted academic freedom when the bell curve came out, y'all wanted academic freedom to call Black people unintelligent. Y'all wanted academic freedom to speak out against us. Now, suddenly, you can't speak for us? Not in terms of the arguments that are being made, just in terms of the right to make them. But we know Palestine is an exception on college campuses all over the country, and that's why we're seeing so much criminalization of students. We're seeing so many problems. And Hochul's decision is just going to stoke the flames even more. Not a good idea. All right, y'all. We got more stories coming up. Let's talk a little bit about this Trump thing one more time. Because your boy Trump is wilding. And we all know why. Let me see if I can pull up. Don't kill me, y'all, but I actually opened up a Truth Social account, not because I care about Truth Social, but because I want to be able to post or read the posts of Donald Trump. So let me see if I can. Well, if you can see the page I'm on right now, I'm literally being forced to follow people on Truth Social. And of course, John Fetterman's on there. How did he become a fucking Democrat? Jesus. Y'all Democrats out there, man, y'all got some weird standards. That's all I'm gonna say. It ain't my business, it ain't my party, but my Lord. All right, they're not letting me do it, so I'll do it. Or maybe they are. Oh, nope, we're Gucci. Let's see here. Let's see here. Nah, it's still doing the same thing, man. I was trying. If y'all knew the amount of work I did to get this video to y'all, if y'all only knew. What Patty say? If only you knew. If. Let's see. How much I do love you. Let's see. I'm trying to get the screen to go big. They're not allowing me. It's okay. What? Truth Social sucks as a platform. I'm not even talking about the content. I'm talking about, oh my God, this thing is impossible to. But it's okay. I can't play the video for y'all, but let's get started now. Donald Trump just shared an AI-generated fantasy video of Gaza. Now, it's a fantasy video, so you know Donald Trump's fantasy ain't got no Palestinians in it. Any vision that he has or the Israeli right has of Palestine ain't got no Palestinians in it. So Trump shared a video of Gaza. It starts off with all the rubble and the devastation and the violence ostensibly, and then it becomes something else. It becomes an AI-generated fantasy of what you're seeing in front of you right now. A luxury resort. And of course, his name's plastered all over it. The video clip that it comes from, and that's what I was trying to show y'all. The right size.
To set you free, bringing the light for all to see. No more tunnels, no more fear. Trump Gaza is finally here. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1. Trump Gaza shining bright, golden future, a brand new light. Feast and dance, the deal is done. Trump Gaza #1.
So you see it. Sorry, it doesn't allow me to show the full screen. I don't know what's up with Truth Social on desktops, but the point here is you see it. They're basically making this group really gross French Riviera style video of Gaza after it's been ethnically cleansed, after it's been emptied of all of its native inhabitants. It's weird. Now, Donald Trump didn't make this video, as far as I know. But he did share it, and that's the thing he does. Donald Trump likes to throw rocks on social media and then hide his hand. So he posted a video of Gaza being turned into a luxury resort. And I mean, I don't know if y'all saw it. It was him and Benjamin Netanyahu chilling shirtless by the pool. There's the kid with the Trump balloon, and then there's Elon Musk with 6 fingers, which could be proof that it's AI only, or it could be proof that Elon Musk is as creepy as we thought. I don't know. Not that anything's wrong with having 6 fingers, just Elon Musk. But Palestinians either way are outraged, and they should be. They call it a mockery of their suffering as Gaza remains in ruins. We are just outside of a genocide. And by outside of it, I just mean the war has legally ended. But of course, we know Israel is violating, according to many sources, the ceasefire. We know that Palestinians are still suffering from famine and violence, and they're susceptible to premature death. So we know all that is happening. And Donald Trump releases this video. Can you imagine doing that to Ukraine? Can you imagine doing that to Kosovo? This is why Palestinians are outraged. It's not just them. I mean, it's the rank and file Palestinians. It's also Hamas. Hamas condemned the video as disgraceful. Now, again, you say you don't want a radicalized base. You say you don't want more violence. You say you don't want more what you call terrorism. You know, many people in the world observe as resistance, depending on the context. You don't want none of that. You want acquiescence. But if you want acquiescence, then why are you making videos of or distributing videos of Gaza looking like the French Riviera after you've kicked all the Palestinians out, which is a violation of human rights, international and customary law. It's a violation of everything, and just basic human decency. You can't ethnically cleanse Gaza and then take ownership over it. Come on, Donald Trump, this is ridiculous. That's why we can't just say this is a Trump joke or this is just Trump being Trump. Trump has said very clearly that he believes in ethnically cleansing and annexing Gaza. He also supports Bibi Netanyahu, who is backed by an Israeli right-wing regime, some of whom have abandoned him because he's not right-wing enough. I mean, at some point, we got to say, maybe it's not just a tactic. Maybe it's not just a strategy. Maybe Donald Trump and Bibi are up to something. Now, Trump says he's not forcing that plan. It's just his plan. But if Israeli right-wing voices weren't co-signing it, if the Yoav Gallants and or the Bezalel Smotriches of the world weren't saying, "Hey, we love you, Donald Trump. Looks like this is the start of a beautiful friendship." If they weren't saying that kind of stuff, then I would dismiss it as just trumping. But come on, this feels like a bigger jack, as Lester Freeman would say. So maybe he's trolling. Maybe he's taking an extreme position to get a better negotiation posture. Those are all things he's known for doing, but he's also known for supporting some really awful public policies, particularly against Palestinians. So I have no reason to give Donald Trump the benefit of the doubt on anything. This was despicable. It's that simple. All right, family, we got a lot of stories coming in. We're going to do one more tonight. We also got a lot of comments coming in. Hasna, thank you so much. I appreciate you so much. Celine 84 said, we got a president from New York City and New York mayor, and they're all toxic, bad representation of the most. Yo, New York is not getting represented well in executive branches. One-Eyed Gray Fox says, just paying tuition. Thank you, One-Eyed Gray Fox. I appreciate you. Anyone else want to drop that $10 tuition in, please do it. Bertie Treadwell said, I would like to know more about Palestinians as a psych rehab counselor at Rutgers University master's student. It will make me well-rounded. I think you should know more about Palestinians. I think you should know more about as many things in the world as possible. You know, there's something about understanding Palestine given the moment. But let's, hopefully in the Africana Studies department there, you can take some great history courses as a master's student, or you can sit at the feet of some of the great scholars that are at Rutgers who can help you think about Palestinians, but also Sudanese brothers and sisters, also Congolese brothers and sisters, also, thinking about the entire diaspora as a site of home of sorts for African people, Afro-descendant people. I think that's a dope way to think about it. Dallas's finest, Jazz LP said, Mark, I'm glad that you have the capacity to prioritize putting on your clothes, brushing your teeth, and the ability to advocate for Black issues in Palestine all at the same time. Thank you so much. I'm trying. I promise you I'm doing my absolute best. Bullet the Bunny said, rest in peace to Aaron Bushnell. Of course, if you don't remember, Aaron Bushnell a year ago, almost to the day, immolated himself. He set himself on fire is what I'm trying to say. Immolated, IMM. He's self-immolated in front of the Embassy of Israel in Washington, D.C. He was a 25-year-old serviceman from the Air Force. And he said, quote, he said he's protesting against, quote, what people have been experiencing in Palestine at the hands of their colonizers. And he declared that he will, quote, no longer be complicit in genocide. And then he doused himself with a flammable liquid and set himself on fire. I don't support that choice. And I don't support that level of self-criticism. I think you should be critical of your role, but I don't think what you did was worthy of death. It's something you can't come back from. But I also don't support the death penalty. Jenny B, thank you for gifting a membership. We're so grateful. Quentin Swain, thank you so much for your kind note, or your insightful comment, I should say. This is so disgusting. It says so much about him and where we are as a people, referring to Eric Adams. Thank you for that insight. Robin Walker Murphy, oh my God, I'm so grateful for you. Thank you, my sister. She gifted 10 memberships here. Thank you so much. And Hasna gifted another membership. Yo, y'all, so good to me. Better than I've been to myself. I appreciate you. Let's move on to one more story before we go, y'all. from the political to the world of entertainment. Diddy is back in the news again. He is hitting back hard, not just against the federal raids on his homes, but also against Tony Busby. That's the lawyer representing many of Diddy's sexual assault accusers. Now, there was a new federal filing made this week, and in it, Diddy's legal team argues that Busby shouldn't even be allowed to practice in the federal court that's handling his cases. That's a hell of a challenge. He's not saying Tony Busby made a bad argument. He's not saying Tony Busby is inadequate or is engaged in prosecutorial misconduct. He's not accusing him of anything that would get him taken off the case. He's saying the man shouldn't even be allowed to practice in the federal court that handles his cases. They say that his misconduct is outside the boundaries of just this case. It's not just me or a one-off. He's saying it's deeper than that. Tony Busby went on the Chris Hansen show, according to Diddy's team, and called Diddy guilty before the trial. We could talk about why he might do that. We could talk about what the consequences of that are as you try and locate a potential jury. You know, there's debates about that, given how famous Diddy is. I'm not sure anyone doesn't know, and I'm not sure that going on a local TV show can change that, but who knows? But remember, Busby just got barred from practicing law in Southern New York. The Southern New York district is where Jay-Z got charged, where Diddy got charged, etc. After Jay-Z's alleged accuser kind of pulled out. And Diddy's hoping that this is going to work out for him the same way. He's like, if we can get Busby off this case, maybe I can make some headway. At the same time, Diddy's team is pushing to suppress all evidence from the FBI raids on his Miami and LA homes. Why would you be asking to suppress the evidence? Well, obviously it's because you feel like there's something in there that doesn't look good for you. You're not suppressing the evidence of your innocence. But he says that the raids that got the evidence were unconstitutional and based on, quote, systemic deception. They claim the government hid evidence and relied on the shady witness they call Producer One, who allegedly has no credibility and won't even testify. So look, Diddy struck a lucky break with Tony Busby because Jay-Z and his team chopped Busby up like Ginsu knives. He showed what appears to be malicious prosecution, an extortion attempt, etc. So it's like, well, if Busby, it's like the fruit of the poisonous tree thing. If Busby is that trash as a lawyer and as a prosecutor, if he's that dishonest and unreliable and that manipulative, not as a prosecutor, excuse me, but as a representative for the plaintiff, in a civil proceeding, you know, Diddy is being asked to defend himself as Jay was, right? And the problem is it gets more difficult when the public already has an idea about you. And now you enter a criminal trial, which his trial will start in May, and you're looking at a situation where Diddy is trying to maybe not go back to where he was, maybe not even save face, but certainly be in a situation where the public isn't punishing him for things that they shouldn't be punishing him for. He wants to come home. I don't know if Diddy comes home. Looking at the charges, I can't imagine Diddy being found not guilty. But his only hope is to make it seem as if everybody is working against him. That's a conspiracy. Like, look, I'm not perfect. I do fucked up things. But you just saw Jay-Z. If he got mistreated and mishandled and exploited by Tony Busby, why do you think Tony Busby's actions against me are so principled and honorable? If he's a liar and a hustler, he's a liar and a hustler. And he can't work, he can't do it, he can't be here. He can't be trusted. That's the argument for Tony Busby. Tony Busby was making civil charges, but he was also threatening to make criminal charges against Jay-Z, against other people. So this is how it happens. So Diddy saying the raid was unconstitutional, that's an interesting legal fight. And that's one he might win, depending on the evidence. And if he wins that, some of that stuff that they found will never get seen by a jury. Hopefully it doesn't get seen by the court of public opinion before then. Again, I'm not standing up for Diddy. I think based on what I've seen, I am very skeptical that Diddy is anything but guilty of any claim. I'm skeptical of any claim that Diddy is anything but guilty. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying everybody deserves a fair trial, even monsters. And if Diddy did the things he's accused of, he's a monster. But he still deserves a fair trial. You can disagree with that. But please when someone you love doesn't get one, you're going to wish that you gave guilty people a fair trial rather than us a world where the government gets to pick and choose who gets one. Because sometimes it'd be your people that don't get them. In fact, it's usually our people that don't get them. And sometimes they ain't do it. Anyway, that's it for tonight, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. Thank you for watching the show. We got 2 more things coming in. We got Alexis Martinez, who just became a channel member. Thank you, Alexis. Welcome to the channel. And Grim Reaper just dropped 10 in the super sticker. Thank you so much. We're so grateful for your generous donation. All right, family, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Also hit the share button. Share this information, share this knowledge, share these clips with other people. And of course, family, hit that join button if you're so inclined. Become a paid monthly member of the channel. In addition to being a paid monthly member of the channel, I would ask, if you can, to make a one-time donation, or in lieu of, I should say. So in other words, if you feel like I can't sign up for month to month because that's just too much bread, I respect that. Although I think you can afford the bronze membership for $4.99 or $3.99. I think it's $3.99. Get you in the gate, get all the stuff. But if you can't do that, make a one-time donation, y'all. Go to Cash App, go to PayPal, go to Venmo, go to Zelle, and drop something in the basket. Nothing is too big. Nothing is too small. We talked about this already, but again, earlier this week, we covered Joy Ann Reid. We talked about the value of independent media. We talked about what it means when we lose these jobs. And I'm asking you all, family, I'm asking you to strongly consider making a donation here. We're near the end of the month. There's 1 day left in this month, and we got bills to pay. We got editing to do. We got staff to hire. We got studios to book, and we need your help to remain free and independent, to remain unbought and unbossed. We need your help. So please consider dropping something in Cash App or Venmo. You know, those are my favorites, but you can drop them in any of them to make a donation to the channel. There's somebody out there who makes a lot of money and can donate $1 million to the channel. I would love for you to donate $1 million to the channel. But maybe that won't happen tonight. There's somebody right now at this moment that can donate $5,000 or $10,000 to the channel. Consider it your tuition payment for the year. Consider it an opportunity to get educated on a range of topics in the form and fashion that we do here. I think you would love it. I think some of you are already loving it. You just need to pay up. But I'm just teasing. You don't need to pay up. But it would be great to get the support. And look, if you don't have a nickel to rub together with another nickel, if you ain't got 2 nickels to rub together, that's okay. That's love too. Just keep watching. Just keep liking. Keep sharing. It's not about the money at the end of the day. It's about this information. So please watch, like, subscribe, share, join. That's it. I'll see y'all later. Peace.